Hello, everyone. I'm happy to be back with another young Indian, smiling face, part of the Voice of the Young series. Right now, we have with us Manu Prathap. Let's listen to him. Over to you, Manu.
Thank you, Subodh sir. I think it's a very wonderful opportunity and also an honor to talk in such a host and such a platform, because I think that nowadays a lot of people has a lot of things to say. But that's one important thing that is very much I'm interested in here, and what I look forward as I compare to previously, because previously what I saw is people struggle to communicate. There were lots of gaps here and there. So providing an opportunity for people to talk what they want and how they want is actually a very big initiative, and it reaches the part where the thing is unheard. That's what I believe in. For example, when we go for hearing people, yeah, for something like this, mostly I see there is a sect. Like people will follow only some kind of people. Yeah, they will focus on some sects of people. So I feel that, for example, a person from me from at a young age, if I'm able to communicate what are the challenges here, what are the things that I go through, what I have been reached here. So there will be people, when we put it in a social platform, there will be people who will, if I hope that someone, if they want, they can watch it. I can connect with people. They will also think that, okay, this is also my journey. Yeah, this is also the what I thought. And it, on the contrary, there will be always a disagreement. And I also like the disagreement, because only then we can move forward. Like if a person says that, Manu, your point of this is wrong, so I believe that that person is also talking, they are also able to communicate. So I very look forward to this, and it's a very great honor to talk in such a meeting. And I thank Subodh sir for organizing and selecting me, and giving me opportunity to talk for the voice of youth, and I'm very thankful. So moving forward, myself as a I have been working there about 7 to 8 months. Before that, Before that, I was working in Reserve Bank of India, Mumbai Central
Manu,
Office, Division of Central
just
Finance,
a second.
and before that, I was
Just wait. There was
okay.
a internet glitch, and we missed the part where you said where you are working now. I know you're working in NCAER, but that part was missed. So I'm just saying it that for 6 or 7 months you're working in NCAER, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now please continue from that.
Okay, sorry for that technical glitch.
Yeah.
So the so if you the thing is, right now we all know the climate conditions are very much bad. So we have a erratic climate that is going on. So because of that, it might be something. I'm sorry for that. Excuse me. So coming on to the top, right now I'm working in National Council for Applied Economic Research. In that, I'm working on Investor Education and Protection Fund Chair Authority for 6 to 8 months. Before that, I was working in Reserve Bank of India, Mumbai Central Office, where I was working for 1 year, and I was a research intern there. And I was working in Division of Central Finance under Dr. Samir Ranjan Behra. Before that, I was fortunate enough for my first research exposure in Fiscal Policy Institute, Bangalore, where I was working under Professor M.R. Narayana, and he was the first person who had helped me in coming into research. So, if I am talking about me, it would be fair enough to say that I'm not a person that is too much, was very much into academics. What happened was, I always believe that life has a way to put you into places. Everybody has said to me that, Manu, focus on studies, but I was more focused on sports. I was in athletics and I was in cricket team. I was more focused into that, and I was actively engaged in student politics. I believe that our life serves a larger purpose than textbook knowledge and all those things. We have to focus. We have to help the people around. So later on, you know uh, 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 life has a way to put you into places. As I said that I'm more into sports, I follow different sports person like Mike Tyson and all those people. And there is a famous quote, and Mike Tyson always says that you have to meet life on life's terms, not on your terms. So I am a firm believer of that because I had met with a series of failures and all those things. So at that time, I didn't have any directions. I didn't have any connections. So then I started to learn. I found interest in research. I started doing research. Then I developed an interest in research, and I started learning more about how to do, what to do, and all. And I reached this place, and where initially I was introduced to doing uh, uh, so the main thing about what enticed me about the research is it always put me in a nail biting experience. For example, when I was doing research, I found that it always enticed me. I was always going for a thing, and I still remember always when I wanted to do research, there were some people who said that you should do a job, you don't have much thing. Then there were some kind of people who were passionate enough who said one thing which clicked in my mind. They said that Manu, research is knowledge creation, and when and a person like you are studying, and young minds, he used the same word, young minds should always contribute to society. You are learning this, what is your objective? You should always contribute to society. Your research should have some output. So that clicked my mind. So I always, when I was doing research or something, there were two three things that were in my mind. The first thing was I was always like, I should uh, do something, or my study should contribute some element to the society. And the second thing was, I always had this of creating a knowledge where I could use my knowledge. So so that is why my interest is, if we look at that, mostly it's public finance, macroeconomics. It was because when I learned that, I had the common touch like public finance, taxes, revenues, incomes. So fiscal decentralization was the first official topic that I was exposed to. So I was talking about how fiscal decentralization impacted the primary health centers. So when I took for when I went there and took interviews of those outpatients and the doctors, I came to know that it's not only the textbook knowledge, there are different aspects to it, like how it is connected to the socio-economic conditions of the people. Then I started to read more about socio-economic conditions, how the brain, what we see and what we see and what other people says will imbibe or develop our knowledge, how it makes us see. So what and all we see in a society have very different explanations, very different, what can I say, very different kind of angle to it mostly. So I find these things very interesting. So in a way, I started to enjoy doing research, and I wanted to do more and more research. And so with that motive, I many people, they just said that you should also do this, but you should also get a job or something, get settled. So rather than that, I wanted to do more research. I wanted to contribute. So I was I was moving, working. And one thing that I would say is, when you are working like this, one thing that is very important in life is setbacks and failures. So what I mean by this is, when we are intending to go upward, so for a person like me who started my journey in the middle, I have seen many people who have started their journey way back before. But I don't know why, but I have run, I don't know whether it's luck or run faster or something. I was able to overcome some of the people within a short period of time. So I can answer that question in two, three, four answers. Like one was, there was a speech by Steve Jobs in Stanford University. He said that you can only connect the dots backwards, not forwards. So that's one thing that is very clicked me, because all those things that I explained to you before, like the life pulling you down, because life pulled me down, I got this objective of moving ahead. So what happened was, those people who were working were not as working as me when I started working, because I failed and I was so scared and I had many people depended on me. So I wanted to run fast and fast. So people, I still remember when I was in masters, people used to ask me, why are you so curious? You are just, this confusion is normal. You can do this and that. So I was like, no, I have to run fast. These people are, the competition is high. So, and the second thing was the kind of sincerity that I showed to my goal. People say that, Manu, just relax. But I was like, no, no, I have to. So one thing that helped me to this place. So when I went to Bangalore, where I was first employed in the Fiscal Policy Institute, where I have worked with this wonderful professor M.R. Narayana. He imbibe me many qualities, how to deal with things, how to in a very short span of time. Then I was fortunate enough to join Reserve Bank of India, where I have worked 1 year. Uh, so I believe that all these years, different places have imbibed different qualities with me. So I always believe that because in different organizations we have different people and different kinds of things, we learn different kinds of things, which develops us as a human. Ultimately, we are all humans. So apart from this, we have to develop those skills also. So, for instance, when I went to RBI, there were these wonderful people who saw me as what I am, who helped me a lot, who you know. I found them as they were very busy officers. They were fortunate enough to come down to me and help me as how it needed. So what I did was, I imbibed the qualities and I explained those. And whenever a person comes to me as a fresher or something, if a person make mistakes, those qualities will be in with me. For example, I still remember when I first moved to Mumbai, I had little issues facing me. So there was this very important officer in our way. He called me and he said that, Manu, if you need any help, I can do it. Don't see this as anything, something that I'm doing as a favor. Just see me as a brother, how you would ask, because he completed the masters from where I did. So we had that connection. So that clicked me and I was fully teared. So whenever I see a person just like that, I used to say the same thing. Brother, don't feel worried. If you need anything, just come to me. On the other hand, I have worked in some institutions where people are very different. Like they act and they do in a very different way. So there are other qualities also that I imbibed in these professional personal places. Like for example, uh, standing up for the mistakes. Mostly when I see is people say that, no, this is your mistake, this is your mistake. But I believe that standing up for the mistakes is one important thing that I would say to people in this video. That is, uh, uh, mostly I'm a person who is more into sports. I would use a quote that is said by Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan have said that I'm successful, but people only see the successful thing. But people what they don't see is the 1,000 shots that I missed in training. And there is also one more quote which is my personal favorite. When I always read it, two three quotes. The second quote is, if you are not willing to be a foolish beginner, you won't be a graceful master. And the third quote is that I believe is, slow success build character, fast success build ego. And nowadays, I believe these things because people I see is, running behind very much different things. Some people, they get even they break down too easily when they have few setbacks. When they get good achievements, way the character changes very much. So that is why suddenly when they have a breakdown, they don't see the breakdown as breakdown. It will be seen as a very big thing, and it will be, I have seen people like that. So I I believe that each and every person, they don't know that the process. The process, we have to trust the process. We fail, we fail, we fail. We build character through the process. When, for example, I always say that Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson are not confident because they have the inner ability or because they have thousands of followers. They are confident because they were there for themselves when there was no one alone in the room at night, they used to be there for themselves. So I believe that whenever you make mistakes, there will be people who would put blames on you. They will make you like you are nothing. Because right now it is a very competitive times right now. People just want to snatch opportunities, run for everything, get things. So be calm, work for it, and definitely you can get into something. So that is something that I learned. Then the next thing that I would like to share with people here for this is, right now I got into NCAER. So lot of my people, they say, they ask me what are these opportunities and what are this. So I would like to talk to those people that, what my seniors have been saying this to me. This right now what I answered is in a from a philosophical point of view, what it should be, what the way of life. Now, if I'm talking little bit professionally, I would say that in these times there are myriads of opportunities available for people. It was not like after masters do this, get a bank job, get married, get settled. It's not that the criteria is not the right there right now, because people are moving into different aspects. So I would say to many of the young people who are down south, yeah, for west, yeah, from anywhere, like there are different opportunities. Social platforms are very much important aspects. Search for, because all the jobs that I got is from social ads. Nobody sent me money apply to this ऐसा नहीं होता. So mostly I got it from these platforms. So I believe that search in these platforms, there are research. If people, if a, I see one trend that some people not going into PhDs just because they didn't get something. So right now MPhil is also not there. So I would ask those people to go for research internship, research associate jobs in many think tanks and organization. Get to know research where you will get money. So I'm stressing on money because I'm a person who has struggled in life. So when you get money, there are two, three things. The people, what they do is right now when they get employed, they will spend most of the money in lifestyle things. I would say that this is a important phase. Save up money, because after this you may not know what you have, what you are going to. So self financial dependency is very important for people. So why I'm saying this, after masters, if you are not immediately joining for PhD or something, you can do is working on this. You can create a financial base, support yourself, create something, then explore different aspects, like if you want to do PhD or not. After that one period, you can go for a PhD if you find research interesting. Then or not, if not, you can go for exams. Yeah, but if you can go for other areas which in you are interested. So I would ask all these people just to relax. We have different opportunities. Look for these opportunities. When I came, I didn't know we had these kind of opportunities. In fact, you won't believe me, the RB internship was more of a luck for me, because I was playing badminton and my friends came late, and I was just scrolling through phone, and I found an ad that this is the last date, be caution, and I was like, "Ye kya hua?" And I suppressed it, and at night I just got some extra time and applied it, and I got. After getting into that, I talk with people, then I get more ideas. So, what I believe is, when you go get into these places, one other important aspect is you will get a lot of people. So the thing is, when you get a lot of people, you one thing that I myself feel from Manu 2 years before is that after talking to people, I have seen that a problem can be met in myriads of ways, and there are different things that we can see. So a person who has, books can learn a lot of things, but a person who is around some people with some good minds can move ahead and know a far better thing. His mind will be flexible. So I would ask these people just to find the pace, uh, just go out and here and there, learn from people. The thing is, when we do that, we will make mistakes. We should take honor of the mistakes. Don't blame it on others. We should take about that and move on. So and you can find your own places. Then, other than that, uh, talking about me and what I want to do in further, right now I'm doing a research associate. So my plan is initially after this to join PhD. I would like to do it here in India itself because I am a little bit selfish. I just wanted to be around my parents itself, and also, if something, I just want to be there for themselves, and so by next year I'm planning to do a PhD. So I will be after some time. I will be focusing on those goals, and why PhD is another point that I want to answer. So first thing for a PhD is it will give us a very strong base for where we are getting into. First thing, because people, PhD gives us a very important knowledge, the base, what we can say, everything, people, we will kind of master in kind of research and all those aptitudes, how we can deal. And the second thing about PhD is it gives us a time, a 5 years. We can concentrate on this. We can concentrate on little bit other aspects. We can work towards it. So I would urge some people that PhD, because right now we are moving in a very competitive world where many of the things like labor force and all those things is little bit down and very strict. So for example, if a person is from if a person has PhD or higher education qualification, the job market may prefer that person. So I would say that getting a PhD can be an important thing in the future, where in for higher positions, for promotions, for lateral entries, and all other things, PhD can play a important role. So I prefer that. I would like to do PhD. And the one thing is that one thing that I believe is that when we do a thing, it should have an impact. For example, when we do a research, so, that's why I also like another aspect of research is we can collaborate with other people. We can collaborate interdisciplinary research. We can help the socio-economic conditions, like what happens, I have worked in projects like the physical decentralization and impact on health infrastructure, where I found that how the socio-economic conditions of the people can also make them more aware of the societal changes and how they can depend on them. So one of my suggestions in that study was also the same. Like I found that the people who were the primary health center was little bit rough. They had little socio-economic background, but the other was quite the opposite. So I believe that those people know their what they want, so they are better able to communicate and demand those things. So I believe that if I do more such things, it would disseminate the knowledge. It could create an economy, or it could create a society where we can coexist. So if at all I'm moving, if at all I'm doing research, I would also like to do research in such things that it would also help other sections of the people. Like, yeah, I was able to do this study, and I was able to do so and so. For example, uh, uh, things that comes into my mind is like uh, how the domestic violence, you know, the rape cases and all these things go. So I intend to work on those, collaborate with those, and find results for those. Like, I found this thing that how no matter we people say that we should need strict rules, but people don't understand that strict rule is just one element of that. Why these kinds of important things happen every time is because there is there is lot of socio-economic conditions. For example, sometimes people know that this is bad, but still they do because there is something that is registered and it is involuntary. So why these things are happening? So if I am able to do a study and bring about a change in that aspect, there will be a huge difference. Because I always say that it's not only about the law, it's about other aspects also. So I'm interested in doing research in such aspects, other than that, so after that, I would like to get into an area where I am able to impact the lives of the people and also help people and to create a meaningful life. And so I first said about myself, what are the values, why I do want PhD, and what I am intending to do in life. Because now I'm entering into the third phase, because where I'm going to say about why I'm saying these things. Because I'm a person who has been mostly in a disadvantaged positions. Sometimes because I started very late, I was a person who wanted to do things on my own money. So there were some places where I had to struggle a lot, where I had to eat only one time, where had only money for that. So I have been in positions where it's not good, and it was not at all good staying there. So after reaching a place, I don't want another person to be in such a situation. So that's why I just wanted to communicate these aspects to the people. And after getting into a job, I'm saying that then only we can create a meaningful life. For example, for every people, meaningful life definition may change. For me, a meaningful definition would be where the people around me are happy and they have what they want, resources or whatever. So I want to see a society like that. So I want to move ahead in life. I want to impact some people, and I want to do it research and otherwise. And I want to uplift or give some help to those people who need it. And so that, at last when I sleep or something, I'm able to, think and be uh, proud, because I believe that, rather than publishing and all those things, that is important aspect, we all need it. But I'm saying that, these things makes us more human. And I mean, people right now are chasing very different things. So I believe that, so when people are running behind so many other things, they are missing some vital connections, which makes life meaningful. So I want to be a person who pursue those things. Let God give me that thing, that I can able to help some people around, and I can communicate with those people. And likewise, I'm working on an NGO. So side by side, it's called Rise Up Forum, where we look at different sections of people who have domestic violence and children. We build homes for those children. When there are flood, we go and help for those people. So I believe that other than these aspects, we should, my point is, we should use our studies, or we should use our skills not only for us, but also other people who needs those. So then only we can able to bring up our economy to a upward position. So I don't know if this is too idealistic, yeah, the young blood perspective, but I would believe in creating such an environment, and I would be working in such and such areas. Then other than that, my interest is, like others, I like to do music. I like to listen to a lot of music. I like to travel. I like martial arts. I like doing martial arts too much. I like to get injured again and again. So I enjoy these things. Why I am putting these things is that, there are two things for that. This is based on my experience. Till a point, I was too much into work. I was too much into work that my health was little bit down. I had various aspects, and I reached a position. I reached a position, and I was looking back, and I was thinking to myself why I ran this much, and there were no things that I would like to say. Then at that point of time, I realized some points, like, first, there is something called happiness. There is something that you have to keep in priority, and there is some other aspects. When you focus only on what you work and work and work, it may hinder many other things. So apart from, I always urge people, apart from what you do, you have to be workaholic, but also make sure that apart from the main area, just focus on 2 3 areas like uh, traveling, blogging, all those things. For me, it's cooking. I love cooking. I like doing martial arts and all those things, which calms my nerves. Music is very important thing for me. Without music, I can't exist. Music and me are synonyms. My mother and father always say to me that I'm wired because always I have these earphones in me. But the thing is, I always used to listen to music because it calms me down. I always believe that I have the ability to talk to music, because whenever I'm confused or whenever I don't know what to say or what I'm feeling, when I listen to some instruments, I know what it says. Like I feel what it is saying to me. So it is very calming for me. So I also urge the new young bloods to look onto other these aspects also, and also always keep happiness in priority. Nobody is coming for you. Nobody will make you happy. And by happiness, what I mean is not money, not wealth. All these are important. All these have made me happy, because if I have money, when I have weekend, I will eat a pizza, it makes me happy. I go for movies. Money and all those material things are important, but other than that, what I see in many people right now, when I read reports, that what I am seeing, when I read socio-economic reports and all those things, I'm very disheartened that people take happiness on a different thing. So in Harry Potter, there is a scene that where Dumbledore says that this is mirror of Erised. You will see what you want, and Harry sees his parents, and but it is an illusion. And Dumbledore says a perfect word: the happiest person will only see himself as he is.
Yeah.
He needs nothing. When he looks at the mirror, a happy person will see only himself. He doesn't need his publication. He doesn't need his wealth. He doesn't need anything. He will only see himself. So, when a person is looking for that, so when I work in NCR, there is this person called Boot Singh Ji. He's a driver with lots of life experience, who he comes to me and says that, Manu sir, aap bale to sab bala, means if you are good, everything is good. So that is what, even if in your mud, if you are the lotus blooms, even if you are in a negative environment, whatever it will be, do good, believe good, be happy, so that you will be happy, not because you have that and this, and you're truly happy. So I urge all the people to just, work on such aspects also, life aspects also, and find your the second thing I would say is, it's not too late, because I started my academic journey very very late. When I started, I was in a very pathetic condition. The people were way ahead of me. So I would say that work hard, more than hard. I would say this: many people worked hard around me, but the thing is, the sincerity that it showed towards the work, that is one thing that sets us apart from other people. You should be sincere to the goal. uh, Take anyone, even if it is Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, or I don't know these people, because I look at the interview of these people. And the one thing that I constantly see is the emotion and the love towards what they do. It's not about the hard work. There are lots of hardworking people. It's the I still remember Elon was crying when some of his uh, people who he looked upon said that you won't achieve this, you would be failing. So he had that much of, he had a love towards what he was doing. So I would say that, along with work, along with hard work, do smart work, and be true to your goals and be sincere, which would actually help you to move forward. Even when there is adversity, that love will instill a kind of fire in you to go on, to move on. And even if adversity comes, that will help you, because I am a person who has faced adversities, and during those adversities, my love towards these things and also other factors, of course, like fear of failure and all those things, have helped me to move forward. And that is pretty up on these aspects. now moving on to other areas. Sir, is it possible that I can take a break or sip of water or something? I just had a
Yeah,
doubt.
I'll put the recording on pause and we will come back when you are ready.
Okay, sir. I just need to take a.
Yeah,
Sir, I
pause.
just.
Take your time. Okay, we are back out of the pause. Continue, please, Manu.
Thank you, sir. So this is more like what I had to do, what I planned with my, what I plan with do with my life. And I know I am a researcher, and I always say that I want to do more research, more research. And to a larger extent, always I wanted to do research. There three, it was main things motivate me for doing research is three things. First is my personal interest, like I like to do research. I want to gain name and I fame and all those things. And as I said that I have started the journey very late, and before that the life was very different. There were lots of things that I have been into. So because of that, my parents were also facing the heat. So I want to do good for them. Even when someone says nice things about me, money, you did a good work, I will only show it to my parents, because nothing has not gone into vain. It's changing. First thing, that's one thing. The second thing is, as I have mentioned before, I want to release studies and I want to do things which could make an impact in different levels. For example, why I chose public finance is, first thing, it can impact a normal person. Like I can study about the finances and all those things. I will be better able to touch with them. Then the second thing is, when I do research, I would find able to answer many things. The third thing is that motivates me to do research is that it always excites me. For example, doing data work, analyzing future, all these things. It always keeps me in seat. It always pushes me to search for the unknown. I was doing a research, and I would say that I I damaged the printer, because that much of regression research I have done. There was this much of pages, and every day I will be like, "Sir, this is," and he'll be like, "No, no, you can improve." And me and him counted. I still have that in my here. And some of my friends said, "What you're going to do with this? Are you going to give it to some people and take money?" I said, "No, I will keep this as a souvenir for me." And that file, I had this much of papers, and it has all those writings. No, this is wrong. Change this equation, change this. So it was like a it was like uh, a crime solving, yeah, for something of that sort. And I always say I am a person who likes art. I like poems, I do poems. I like music. So I always feel that research is also like directing a movie. Like I am the director. I will be the one who will be choosing the actors who should play this. When we see a movie, a high intellect movie, like I would say that a movie of Alfred Hitchcock, you will you will be so into it, and you will feel a satisfaction. Research is same like that. I'm being an Alfred Hitchcock. I will be like, who are the actors who will be into this research, how this research should go, what are its narratives, how it should go, what are the questions that I should answer, how the idea should be went through. So planning these things and creating, like variables, adding variables there, like adding musics, and final product, it can go good or go bad or something like that, just like a film. So I always feel that it's just like directing a music or directing a film. Research is so much more than that we think. And I always urge people, when you do research, put effort into it, create a very good study that could make an impact. Because I have seen so many people that when I read such paper, I'll be like, no, yeah, this is, just for the sake, yeah, just for the sake of money, they are like chabdo. They'll be like, no, when you're doing something, do it with all your sincerity, so that it could be a something and people can use it and people can gain knowledge from that. So that's one intent for me to do research, and the research in different aspects. Like I said before, I also like to do, if it is possible and if everything allows me. uh, Sometimes life hasn't been as I planned. So if it is, I would like to collaborate with some of the other people and get to know about different other objectives, like why this is happening, why there is so much violence, why the people are thinking in such directions. Neuroeconomics, I found very much interest in those areas. So I would like to get into those areas also in future. But before that, I would be focusing on my building steps. Right now I have a lot of struggle to do. I have to make up my mind where to go. I am at a place that I'm not a big person. I'm just only a research associate, and these are my dreams and these are my hopes. It can go either way. But you know right now I have many other priorities also in my list that I should before doing those things. So I hope that everything goes by and everything answers. So when I was doing this Vidped, I had this in mind that I should say about the research, what I'm doing, what I should do ahead, and I hope that someone connect this who is also struggling to get into a place, do a PhD, do a research, and all those things. And for those people that I said that when you do RA, you will get some of the financial stability, do from good place, so that when you are planning for a PhD, you don't need to depend on your parents. You can do it on yourself. Because I always say that when you reach a place, when you say that my hard work paid off, it should be actually your hard work. When I say that I have done this, I have made this, I also believe that that should have my sweat rather than sleepless nights. My father was a self-made man, and he always said that, Manu, I had to build the ladder, place the ladder, and climb it. Right now, you have the ladder, you just need to climb it. I say that I also need to build the ladder, because when I was doing studies, I used to go to these event managements. I have worked as junior artist for money. I have went for Swiggy and all those things to buy books and everything. So I believe that these doing these RA would make you, and going to other places will equip you with lot of skills, financial management, how to handle money. And if you want, you can create a base. After this, if you don't like research, you can go for other objectives also. Like there are different economist positions, you could get into that. Prepare for civil service RB exams, you can get into that. Or else you can go to the space PhD field. So I would say that to those confused people who are very afraid and who are just getting into PhD after something else just because the time is over, I would say to those people that don't be that much. I believe that the time is getting over only when you are not working, because you are staying idle. When you are working on something that is somewhat related to your field, you are gaining somewhat experience and somewhat financial stability. We can't nullify that. It's there. So rather than sitting at home and this thing, you have jumping right into what you don't know, like PhD is a 5 year. I have seen some people that is right now very much struggling, and they pray that really they didn't want to get into PhD, but they are doing PhD because they have got into. So I would say that before that, just take a time, work in some places. If you are able to get some money, get some experience, just look at different options and get into. And the initially that 30 minutes that I talked about, like these are the psychological things, these things that I learned. The second thing from that I want people to conclude is that life, uh, you know as I said earlier, uh, has a very weird way of teaching you. Always be humble, always be a learner. uh, it will teach you things in a very hard way. And I always say that just don't get, people will yell at you, people will say that you are no good, all those things. But I always believe that change is a change can be made, because I still remember, everyone, like all those people, Mike Tyson, all those people saying that the one thing that made them who they were was the discipline. So if you have the discipline, like if you are able to work, I'm not saying that sacrifice your happiness. People right now, when they say about discipline, they forget their happiness. No, I say that if it is weekend, it's no bad to go out, have some good time. You have to do that. Be disciplined, take that criticism. And I would say to people that don't cry, don't get disappointed. It's okay. Okay, the thing is, it's okay to get disappointed, because the other thing would be living denial. I would say that take that and work on that criticism and move ahead, because one of my sir said that when people say bad about you, or when you struggle, initially there will be some damage, but that damage is the thing that makes you. Because if we look at famous personalities, they talk with so fluid and they talk with so grace and confidence. People don't know from where they get the confidence. People will be like, you know I would be happy if I got that confidence. Most of these people gain this confidence from their experience, from failures, from people have yelled at them, so they have been there for them, they have been conscious, they were like, I would be, I would overcome the situation, and they have overcame that situation with discipline, with work, and they have reached this place. So I would say to people that issues can come at different time. When I moved to Mumbai in the first month, I was like, I want to come back, because I borrowed money and went to Mumbai. I felt very sick, and I was very, very at a bad place, and I was at a dormitory. Then I shifted to a cheap motel. In that, I wanted the cheapest room. Usme there were no locks. I had to push my bag, and I was not able to even stand up. I pushed up. There were no fan. I could hear the sound of mouse here and there, and it was all dirty, and no, there was nothing. I was like literally suffering those times. But nobody knew this, because I was not in a position to call for help and all those things, because I was not feeling well. I was not fever. I was very feverish. My money was getting down. So I was like, so this is the very basic thing that I have been through in my life. This is very basic thing. Like, I have been experienced a lot worse things in my life. So I say that it come, but it has passed. Because of that, I struggled. I got good connections in those places I was working. I was able to do good research. I was able to produce two papers. Right now, two more paper are on the pipeline for getting it published. I gained financial independency. The borrowed money, I was able to give it back. All those because I was able to cling on there for some minutes. So I would be, I'm not a big person to say that I struggled and I achieved a long feat, but I have seen some people going back at my age. So if there is some person who is watching this, I want that people to know that if you are able to hang on for some time, if you are able to go pass through that, please pass through that, because after that it might be the possible that what you have been through might be answered. So please put yourself in that and be I would I would be very happy to say that uh, be happy. There are lots of people depending on you. Those people will also be happy, and all these experiences will make you a good person in the future. And you don't need anyone to depend. You don't have to depend on anyone. You have yourself, and you will be confident. That's the second thing that I would like people to take from this, from the 30 minutes that I talked before. This is the second thing. And the third thing is the clarity. As I said before, jumping into anything, just think about this, what we are going through, why you should need a thing. For example, if a PhD, why you want to take a PhD. It's not like I want to be a doctor. It's not like that. Just think about it, what you want to do really with this PhD. Now, coming on to other aspects, other than this PhD and all those things, I'm a person who enjoys things which makes me feel alive. for example, as I said, I like doing martial arts and all those things. So I get injured. I get happy sometimes when I get injured. The second thing is I like traveling, and I like to communicate. I like to you know uh, 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 some stuff that makes people happy. That are those things that help me in this. Uh, Sir, once again, can I take a break?
Sure. Okay. We are back from the pause, and Manu, please continue.
Uh, so, uh, so these were the objectives that I wanted to talk with people before in the O. But I sure also had a lot in my mind because I think I'm too nervous. Some of these things ran away from me. So I'm just concluding this session. Before that, I would say that keep some of other habits with you, just which are also important. And also the second thing is I talk from the point of view of research to all those people who are struggling and also who are working. Just be true to your goal. It will be answered, and just stick to your happiness. I mean, be happy with what you have and what you are, and that is the wealthiest man. That is what I believe in, and always believe that people will talk behind your back. They will bash you very badly. Initially there will be some damages, but you will get ahead from all those things. Stay strong. And this is very important for me because the first thing is I'm not a person who has done so many things in my life, but yet I have been able to do something compared to the Manu previously 4 or 5 back years before. And it was only possible because of my parents, Pratap Kumar, Sati Pratap, my father and mother, who has immensely sacrificed for this. And I can't thank enough for that. And the second thing is God Almighty. And I just have few names like Abhirami, the person who has she helped me in my initial days in Bombay. Steve Lal, a wonderful intellect who is doing PhD in IN Nagpur. He has always advised me on how to do, because I am saying this because he also have been on my same path. So I was able to better connect him, and that's what I said about all those things, because if there is another Manu who could connect to me also. So it's I'm talking to all those Steves, all those Manu who has traveled through the same path. So I would like to thank Steve and all my friends, my university, my professors, and Preetika, one another friend that I got who has also been with me. And I would like to thank all these people and conclude the session. And I really hope that if there is any person out there, I was able to help him. And my name is Manu Prathap. You people can reach out to me or anything, and I would really happy to help you, happy to help anyone. And I really wish all the best to everyone who sees this. May your struggles and may your fights be answered. Keep pushing yourself. And I would like to thank Subodhji for giving me this opportunity. And I have seen his previous Vidpeds also. There were lots of young minds, and I'm happy that he also considered that I'm a very good young mind. And thank you, Ji. And I thank you to everyone. Thank
Well,
you.
Manu, thank you so much. It is such a pleasure to listen to somebody who lays it all out so clearly. And first of all, thank you for that. Second, I pick up on the fact that you talked about your struggles. It's not
Sir.
easy to talk about your struggles, but you have gone past them. So you have struggled, you have had horrible conditions for whatever reason, and you said you started late, but you have ended well. And as Shakespeare told us, all's well that ends well. So you have ended well. So you were quoting so many things. Let me quote Shakespeare, all's well that ends well. So you have
Yes,
done
sir.
it. You are on a path now, and it's very good path. And you have really worked your way through the rough parts of life into the smooth parts of life. So congratulations, well done.
Thank you, sir.
I just want to pick up on one more point that you have made. and then I'll talk to you a little bit more offline about it. That is that you said, well, I may sound idealist, okay, but this is what I have. Well, I'm idealist at this age. The direct manifestation of that idealism is that I started this Vidped. I mean, at my age, I should be retired and just doing nothing, right? Why am I doing this? Because I'm idealistic. I want to empower the young. I want to give them a chance to speak. I mean, it's an effort.
Yes, sir. I understand. Yes, sir. That's what I'm saying. That was one point that I said for my research. I want to do my research for these things. जैसे कि आप you want to do this because you want to make the young voice heard, just like me that right now I'm talking to. So that's what I'm saying. Some people might not accept it. Some people may think that this is only in beautiful quotes, good morning quotes. You will say this, and life is different. So that's why I'm saying I'm idealistic. I might be, but this is what I want to do.
Good.
And
Now let me tell you about very briefly about two other things that I'm doing. One, I wrote a book about 3.5 years ago, India 2047. It's an economics book. It's not a textbook, but it's my idea of, at that time, it was the agenda for the next 10, 15 years. How to remove the key constraints to growth. Last year, I wrote for myself some 11 non-official development goals for 2047. But because mostly, the politicians and the leaders, they're only focused on the next 4 or 5 years maximum. They are not really focused on 2047. They may talk about it, but they are not. Because they have to win the next election. They have to get their whatever. Anyway, so I thought that, so I am now planning to merge the two, update the book so that it's not just about constraints, it's also about opportunities. And how do these opportunities meet the goals for India for 2047? We don't have a clear statement of the goals. Since nobody else is going to do it, I'll do it. I've already written them out, and last year in many meetings I discussed them. But now I'm going to merge the two. And of course, I'm saying this now so that, people who it'll be, I may post some drafts on LinkedIn, and I hope people will read them and comment on them. Today, we can get comments or drafts from many people. That's one thing. Second thing is that in the book that I wrote in 2021, I had a recommendation that India should develop its small towns. And the logic is that you can create labor-intensive jobs there much better than you can create in the cities. And by creating jobs there, you can hold back some of the people who are migrating to slums.
migrate to other place.
Right. So you can give them a chance. And of course, you have equality of opportunity, equality of incomes. So you get equitable regional development in a state. I'm not a very practical guy. I just like to think. So I needed a team of young people and old people who are more practical. So with that, we defined small town to mean population 1 lakh in 2011 census. And with some human capital like colleges, hospital, Wi-Fi, rural rail connection, etc., land to expand. So, and then we decided to focus only on B states. The A states are the 5 South Indian plus Gujarat and Maharashtra. And then we focused on 3 B states, Rajasthan, West Bengal, Odisha. And we are, our NGO is about to come up. It's called Ecotech Innovators. Ecotech standing for ecology and economy, and tech is obvious. So the idea is that what we are bringing to these towns is innovation through technology, keeping an ecological considerations and economic considerations. So this is the basic idea. that we will throw the world's knowledge and innovation at the small towns, which is not happening in India at all. Because India, we focus only on villages or large cities. And large cities, unfortunately, we talk of metro and Wi-Fi and garbage collection and traffic. But actually,
that's one important point, sir. Actually, if I may interrupt, I would say that this is very important. Keeping the ecological with innovation, I would like to say that even many of the natural calamities that right now are happening. For example, what I have seen, yeah, for recorded in past things. For example, previously when I was kid or when I was like that, we had a rainy season where the rain and all those things, it was in a normal way. But right now it's like 7 days, it will not, it will be like 3 days, then after 2 days it will be sunny. So the thing is, on the 2 days when it rains, it will rain with the effect of 7 days. So there will be landslides, there will be lot of disorders. So what you have said is actually, I think, is very important places, because all those things happens in the low the states that you have जो आपने अभी बोला, on these low states. Instead of focusing those things, I have read this in a lot of articles that this was a very important point, and I still believe that if this is taken care of, we could mitigate many of these controlled natural calamities.
Okay, fine. So let me just so our team has made 4 visits to one small town, the district headquarters of Birbhum district in West Bengal. And our team will go to Odisha, Raigada in south part of West Bengal, Odisha, and we will go to Rajasthan. The program is for the next 25 years at least. It's not a 3-year or 4-year or 5-year plan. We don't have 3-year, 5-year targets. We have a target to be in there to help create jobs, increase incomes, and if necessary, as expansion takes place, make sure that the new buildings are energy efficient, sustainable. If traffic is increasing, we have so we are going to be a networked NGO. I am building the base of supporters. Some are specialists, engineers, traffic experts, horticulture, how to plant fruit trees in barren land, how to make money for the farmers there, or even anybody who has land. For example, we are trying to make the land which yields no income, yield income. Okay, by planting the kinds of plants which are local, which can make money. So we're going to be trying to be catalytic in the sense of this works here, or is already working to some extent, make it grow. So we have to study the local town, the local rural areas just surrounding it, a few talukas, and come up with a hyper-local plan. It's not a statewide plan, it's not a national plan, we don't have a program. This is what we do. We don't know what we do, because till we understand the area, we don't do anything. Till we have the support of the people, we don't do it. Because if it turns out that you can grow some things in a barren land, like Raigada in Odisha, the terrain is so different from Birbhum in West Bengal. The soil is different, the terrain is different, it's a tribal society, there are different people. So you don't want the same solution, right? You want the local solution. But it has to be economically justified. And economically means financially also. There has to be clear reason for the people to do it, and that clear reason is create jobs, increase incomes. Most NGOs are not focused on that, but we are. Create jobs, increase incomes. How to do it? That depends on local opportunities. Bring the external knowledge, bring the external money. Money is not critical. The critical thing is productivity increase. You and I are economists. We understand productivity is the only way forward. The throwing money doesn't work. You have to throw some, it's in the production function, you have the implicit technology. It's that technology that's driving the growth. K&L, of course, labor is already there. Money can come at any time if it is profitable and viable. So therefore, it has to be So like if you go to this place and you find that there are some small enterprises there where the entrepreneur is really not stagnant, but is motivated, hardworking, then you support that entrepreneur by saying, maybe we can get you some technology, maybe we can get you some help in marketing, whatever has to be done, that will depend upon the local circumstances. And I am building a network of supporters who will be there in the organization for the next. I mean, at your age, you will be there in 2047. I won't. So we need you to be supporting us in whatever way you can. So we will have a network of supporters, and then the network is such that each person in the network has his or her own network. Right? So I want to get the network of the people in mind, so that if you read 6 years from now, oh, this is what they are doing in Chittorgarh in Rajasthan. My brother's close friend's cousin can help. Right? That's the networking that is possible today, and that's what I want for the future. So I'm not a practical man. I'm not going to any of these towns. I have set the vision, the theory, and now the practical people, I also found them the money, and it will be all Indian money. We are not going to take any money that requires foreign approval from the government. There's enough money in India. Money is not the issue. The issue is that you need a program that directly appeals to the target beneficiary. They must see it, oh, this is in my interest. I'm going to do it because it's in my interest. Now they will help me get the loan. They will help me find whatever it is. We have our experts in the network ready to answer the question. Okay, so that's something I also want to enroll young people in, but I don't want to take more of the time in the recording. So these are two of my key activities. One is to prepare sort of the manifesto for 2047. Economic manifesto for 2047, which will be a 60-80 page book. And the other one is the ecotech, which I am sort of moving out of because I like to be only in the concept phase. Now it's moving into the practical phase. And if the practical people say, look, we need to do this, not that, I say, okay, you do it. If that's what is needed there, you do it. So, okay, so that's it from my side. I thought I'll share it with you that it's still there and it's going. We are not in any rush to implement because we'd rather do it slowly and get it right than to say, listen, we have achieved so much and we have done this and all. And we didn't even make a big noise of it or any website or anything. We'll have them now because I was not sure we can do it. Because it's an outrageous idea that you can do things that the government unfortunately, either it is a national scheme, then one size fits everybody, which we know. But we know in India, one size doesn't fit anybody. And then when you go to the state government, the same thing. Like Rajasthan, people think it's the desert state. But half of Rajasthan is not desert, it's green. So if you have a national statewide policy in Rajasthan, it doesn't fit. So everybody nowadays talk of local. So I'm saying let's be hyper local. Let's go to the town, understand it. Look at its past, what was there? Can we revive it? Can we bring it forward? Can we modernize that? Think it through, guys. We have time. Think it through. Okay, so that's it from my side. That's what I wanted to say to you. I'll leave the final words to you.
Sir, as I said, all I needed is to, I'm right now. I just want to reinforce the first thing that I said is that I would very much like to thank you on providing us a platform. And the second thing is, as I said, I wanted to thank some people. I wanted to guide some people on the road who face similar situations, who are going through similar situations. And the third thing was, if I am able to comment on, I was very mesmerized of, I was very, very much into the plans that you were just right now talking. And I have also used the same thing, same words to my people, that I am not that much of a practical person. I just think and I just formulate on that. And I would be very much happy if I could help in all those aspects in some way. And the second thing is, and I believe that this is very important steps that you have discussed with me. Uh, I don't, because, I have also noted I have also seen many bright men saying these things, that we should always focus, get the skin. If we talk in economics, like get the skin. So if the people are like, if they are able to connect with these things, apart from all the materialist thing, they will be putting lot of efforts in these kinds of works, and we will be able to sustain it for the future also. And uh, uh, it was, I would say that it was a great idea, and it was great talking to Subodh sir. It was a great talking to you, and I'm very happy that I was able to interact and I was able to open up. And thank you, and
Okay,
it was a great fun.
let's end it here. To the viewers, I'll be back with another young person or an expert soon. Till then, bye everybody.